Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Crazy Ed. Miss Mary, good morning. Awesome. Already got two of you guys in here already commenting. Uh, hey, did uh did it put a notification up on YouTube? Because it didn't ask me if I wanted to put that up there, but I guess maybe it might have done that automatically. I don't know. Because this morning I just created a broadcast and uh, put a time down. So I'm hoping that's all you got to do to get it to post that on YouTube. Good morning, Chris Myers, MNC. Good morning, Al and Trish. I got my Yeti coffee mug this morning. Got gnats flying around me here. So how's everybody doing this morning? A little breakfast still in my teeth. So I've been working on those coffee mugs for Greenhorn 1 Acre, and those things are they are turning out really nice. Um, I don't know if I'm going to actually, man, I can't really say nothing about it. I'll be kind of letting the cat out of the bag if I do. Um, there'll be either some wood burning or some carving done to them. I guess I can probably say that. But I don't know if I want to do wood burning or if I want to carve and paint. Uh, Man, I just don't know. Good morning, Sandy. What is she up to now? Good morning. Oh, yeah, it's a great morning here this morning. I'm still trying to wake up. I've been up since 5, but it's kicking my butt this morning. I'm telling you what. I woke up it was actually probably about 4:45 and crawled out of bed about 5, went and hopped in the shower. That still didn't wake me up. Went and made me a egg sandwich, a fried egg and ham sandwich. Uh, Made my coffee. I'm just now on my first cup here. I just I can't hardly wake up. I was up pretty late last night working on some stuff. I got some more videos that's already uploaded, but I'm not going to release those today, I don't think, uh, because I'm doing a live today, and I think that's kind of hard on your algorithm or whatever. A lot of people don't like to sit there and watch you all day long, right? So, what is she up to now? Said skinny dipping in a creek would wake you up. Yeah, it would. I've done that before. Not in the morning though. It was in the middle of the night. M&C. Al said we got our kitchen counter made and mounted yesterday. Awesome, Al. Can't wait to see that. They love watching Crazy Ed all day long. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Doing lives while going down the road and stuff. I wouldn't let dispatch know what your channel is. They might have a conniption fit with you. Close your eyes and it would be dark. Yeah, I ain't in the shape I used to be. I don't think anyone would want me to go skinny dipping anymore. MC said, right. I guess you're talking to what is she up to now? Evan's Family Homestead and Outdoors. Hello, hello. Good morning. Crazy Eds. They actually watch me. Yeah, I watch some of your videos, Ed, but I don't comment because, well, I don't want to get tied up in the drama, if you know what I mean. But I do watch them. A lot of crazy stuff going on. I don't even know what it's all about, and it doesn't really matter to me. So, well, I hope everyone's having a good morning. No crazy drama today, and just chilling. That's what I'm doing today. So, what's everybody up to? You guys talk to me a little bit here. Oh, I got up this morning, come out here, and moved the car over here. It's just behind the camera. That way, that's blocking the line of sight from the traffic as people drive by this morning. So they're not just gawking and sidetracking me. What is she up to now? Said a bit chilly out this morning. It's super nice here. I think it's probably, I would guess it's about 60, 65 degrees here. It feels really good. I got dew on the car and on the mill and everything out here. Uh, had to mow a little bit of wet grass because I got over here by the sawmill. I said, man, this grass is getting a little tall. And I'm wearing my Crocs and socks today. I don't want to get my socks wet. So I had to mow the grass down a little bit right here in this little area. Crazy heads are looking forward to moving out to the new property and start cutting some trees down and building things. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun thing to, you know, to do. I mean, or think about doing actually. When it comes down to actually doing it, it's not quite as fun. I mean, uh, but when you start living that dream and you start reaching that financial freedom, which of course I'm not anywhere close to yet. I still own this house. Uh, if I could sell this house, I'd be debt free, and that'd be really awesome. I would love that. And you know, for what you guys are doing out there on that property, your plans and everything, I know things have changed, but uh, still yet, you know, you guys would be neighbors and hopefully get along just fine and everything. And you know, it's a really great community out there. I think it's awesome what all you guys are doing in the homesteading community. Driving through Arkansas to North Carolina. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind that drive through Arkansas until it gets up there around Memphis. And then I dread it. I think they got that bridge open over there in Memphis, going over the river there. What is she up to now? Say cutting trees means lumber to build with. That means I got to come out there and work. But I'll have fun hanging out with y'all. Deborah Felix, good morning. Al says, yes, the bridge is fixed. All right, cool. Yeah, I thought I'd seen a post or something that said they got it back up and running and opened up or something, but I couldn't remember for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about going back out and hopping in a truck just to make some money. And I don't know. I definitely don't want to go over the road again. I've done too many years of that. Good morning, Heather Hopper. How you doing? Got my North and South Homestead shirt on today. I don't wear it very often because it fits a little tight on me. I had to like put my arms in there and stretch it out today to get it to fit me. There goes the road grader. Yeah, Al said me either. Yeah, I mean, after the recent events and stuff that's went on, especially some things I seen that went down up in Michigan and everything, or Minnesota, wherever the heck that was. Um, you know, I don't have any desire to go out there and drive a truck over the road anymore and get into that craziness. Deborah says she's having her morning coffee. Awesome. Yeah, last Monday I drank a little too much coffee in that live, and my stomach was kicking my butt after that. I forget how many cups I had, but basically this this right here, was probably up to about here, and I drank all that. So that's probably 5 or 6 cups, I would think. I'm not used to drinking that much, but it tore my stomach up. I don't know how to get away from that. I mean, I have that I think it's called famotidine that I take, but I'm out of it now. It's supposed to help keep my stomach acid down. I only had one at a time. That's right. One at a time. I wish I could have had two at a time. Al said he'll be putting a video out on the kitchen. Ooh. Did you use any of those boards and stuff I cut for you to make that, or did you use pallet wood, Al? Got traffic going by here. I'm surprised it's not busier than it is. Usually in the mornings, there's just nonstop traffic going by. It's really bad in the afternoons when I'm usually trying to shoot a video out here. You don't have a choice. Eh, I don't know. I mean, I found I can make pretty decent money here locally and not over the road, but you know, it's pretty much over the road. I don't go real far out. A lot of times I might just be down in, let's say, Van Buren picking up a load of eggs or something, and they don't have a full load yet. So I mean, you could be out there overnight. It's almost the same thing as over the road, but you're not going near as far away. Um, I don't know what it would pay right now doing something like that, but let's see, it was probably 8 or 9 years ago that paid. I worked like 3 or 4 days a week, and I made probably 600 and something, 6, 7, 800 a week, depending on what all there was. But most of it was hourly, and that's when I did a little bit of dedicated stuff. Hauling like the food grade tankers of liquid sucrose up to like Pepsi and Coke and all them. Al said framing is pallet wood. So we use 2x12s. Wasn't wide enough for 7 foot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of that stuff I cut for Adam was over 7 foot. You could probably trade him. A little late now, though. Deborah said, I'm enjoying my Mustang. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I figured I needed something like that to, something that was fun to add some content to the channel. And I wanted something fun to drive. I didn't really need the minivan anymore. My daughter is like 13. My youngest son's almost 16 now. My oldest is he's almost 18, and the two boys they've already got their own pickups and everything. And my youngest son, he's fixing to get his driver's license, so I'm like, I don't really need a big old passenger minivan anymore unless I plan on living out of it, which is not something I really want to do. If I do end up selling the house and buying a property going off grid, I'll probably end up living in the shipping container. I'll move all the wood out of it and put windows and doors and stuff in it and the insulation, and turn that into my temporary living quarters or whatever. Missing stuff here on the chat. The sycamore tapered too fast. Oh. Yeah, some of them. Desiree Sampier, good morning. Good to see you in here this morning. She said, good morning, David, and everyone. She's saying good morning to everybody else, too. MNC said, wow, my oldest will be 39 next month. Yeah, you're old, Albo. I know I'm old, but Al's a little bit older. You're still kicking, Al. Let's see, I'm 43. I'll be 44 in January. So, man, I think I'm going to make it longer than my dad did. I think my dad, I think he made it to 50 or 52, something like that. I can't remember. Desiree said her oldest will be 34 next month. So you might be just a little bit older than me, Des. Ugh. A bunch of us old people sitting here having coffee together in the morning. Miss Mary, she's the young one of the bunch here. She said her oldest will be 57 tomorrow. Is that the one you're doing all the work with there on that property, Miss Mary? What is she up to now? It's telling me that I'm a youngin' still. I don't feel it. This sawmill and stuff, and moving logs around and stacking boards it's rough on you. It'll tear you up pretty quick. I'm glad I didn't do it my whole life. Desiree says 58 in November. Nuh-uh. I seen your picture. Ain't no way you're 58. M&C family. He said he's 59. Al almost looks like he's 59. Deborah Felix said her oldest is 41 and the youngest is 20. Boy, what I'd give to feel like I was 20 again. Those were the days where that skinny dipping stuff happened. I was traveling around the U.S. building skateboard parks, and I was in Pierre, South Dakota, and the contact lady up there was kind of like a punk rocker, a little wild, and we went. She invited us to a party afterwards, so we went to this party, and things got a little wild. We ended up down at the river there in Pierre, South Dakota, and skinny dipping and swimming over to what looked like a island out in the middle. Man, it did not seem like it was that far away until I got to it. I was like, holy cow, I don't know if I can make it back. But I had that motivation that I didn't have my clothes with me, that I had to make it back before the sun come up. So I ended up swimming all the way back. Good wild times, I tell you. Crazy Ed said he'll be 55 in January. Did I missed that earlier? Miss Mary said, no, that's her baby. Boy, these comments got mixed up or something here. Something happened. Oh, turning the camera here. Didn't lock it down. MNC said, Ed looks like he's 70. He don't look that old. I'd say he looks, I don't know. I'd say by his looks, I'd say he's probably 48, 49. Desiree Sampier says early 20s, and then it jumped. Gosh darn it. I hate it when it does that. Early 20s were the best, I think, for all of us. Yeah. Yeah. Usually. What is she up to now? So did you have your eyes closed then at Hood's Custom Shop? Oh, when I was skinny dipping? No, I didn't have my eyes closed. It was dark out. Deborah Felix said, yes, when I was 20, I was making skateboards. Cool. It says, Al, you can kiss it. Hey, good morning, Jason. Got the Crockers popped in here. That's awesome. Well, Jason Crocker on my live. Isn't that crazy? Oh, boy, I just clicked on Desiree. We almost timed you out or something there. Heather Hopper. Live chat, not top chat. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm in. So I don't know how to do all that stuff here on StreamYard. I'm new. Desiree saying, morning, Jason. Morning, Jason. Never too late, Homestead. I'm living my best life now. Yeah, about time. Yeah, it only sucks whenever when you get quite a bit, up there in the years, and then that's when you finally realize, uh, what you're missing out on. Oh, oh, I highlight. Okay. Well, see, I just learned something. Thanks. Uh, that was awesome, Miss Mary. From Al Willis Dockery. Good morning. How are you doing? Having some coffee this morning here. Oh, y'all are live on feed. Hi at the Crocker. Did you get home yet? He said he's driving up to the tiny house this morning, right now, as we speak. Don't y'all be following him up there. Weird him out. Well, I've had people follow me to the house here back when I had my YouTube thing on the back window of my pickup. I ended up taking it off because it created a bunch of unwanted attention around here. Neighbors like going by and they started, being loud and noisy. I mean, my other neighbor, the Morgan's down here, he's a friend of mine, but he's kind of a butt. Ever since I got the Mustang, when he goes by in his big Ford diesel pickup, which he does like 50 times a day, he goes by here and he'll stomp on it. And, he waves and stuff. He's a cool old guy. He's got a excavating company down here, and he's really good friends with my ex-boss, which, me and my ex-boss kind of had a falling out. So, and the way I kind of feel about it is those two are really good, tight buddies. And so, like, when I was buying my semi, that yellow Pete that I had, I was buying that from my ex-boss. And every time I come home, I'd get a text message. He's like, "Oh, see, you're home." I was like, it kind of weirded me out. I'm like, dude, do you have like a tracking device on my semi? Well, I finally figured out what it was. Is my neighbor was telling him every time I came home, which, is kind of annoying. Okay, let's see. Catch up on the chat here. Yeah, Desiree's saying Jason's driving to the tiny house in that Jeep, and he doesn't have the hardtop on anymore, I believe. And so it's pretty loud. I used to have there's a 76 CJ7 that was canary yellow. And yeah, that thing was loud. I had a straight six in that, had it rebuilt. When I first bought it, I think I paid $1,200 for that Jeep. I bought it and the motor needed rebuilt. And so I went and paid like another $1,300 to have that motor rebuilt. Then I had to get a new radiator fan and radiator put in it. And then I put some aftermarket bumpers and stuff on there and made it look pretty sweet. And then my wife got pregnant with my first kid, and I said, uh-oh. She said, he's not riding around in that Jeep with you, so I had to trade it off, and I got a Cavalier straight across trade. So now I've been able to trade up, I guess, to a fun vehicle. MNC says he's interested in a coffee cup. How much you want to pay, Al? Got some money? Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to work out right now is the pricing on these. I'm working through the process of making these. I mean, the ones I've been making for Greenhorn has obviously taken me about a week now, but there's a lot of, the filming and stuff like that, trying to make videos and be creative. That takes a lot of time. So, realistically, I could make one in about a day right now. Uh, and well, before I got the Forstner bit, but now that I've got that, I can probably knock it down to 4 or 5 hours per cup. And so we're probably looking at about 65, $75. If I do $75, that will cover shipping, I'm pretty sure. Um, and I should be able to make a little bit of money off of that. Um, I'm trying to make money. All right, so it is what it is. Crazy Ed said, you hit it big time when Jason Crocker comes in. It sure feels that way. I mean, but I'm friends with those guys. So it's just like any of you other guys. It's another person coming in the live, just like you guys. I mean, uh, he's done a lot of things right to build his channel and his following and everything, and that's really awesome. But I try not to treat people different because of maybe their perceived status or something. Um, you know, you're a person just like he is, and uh, try to treat everyone the same. It is really awesome that he popped in here, though. That's really cool. Um, Struggle and Strive. Good morning. Good to see you in here. What is she up to now? Said $100. I heard. LOL. Yeah. Um, hey, if you want to pay me $100 for a coffee cup, I can put you on the front of the list. And that would really help me out a bunch if you guys are willing to pay that. But you know, it it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just making the coffee cup, uh, it would probably be like 75. And if you want your logo or something like that put on there, I might be able to do that for about $100 on them. And you guys are just gonna have to wait until you see the Greenhorn 1 Acre coffee mugs. Those I've spent a lot of time on them. Oh my gosh, the time it takes to take and recreate somebody's logo on the computer to where you can use that, and then getting it to the right size, printing it out, and then using carbon copy paper to trace it onto the wood and all that kind of stuff. It's very time consuming and makes your hands cramp really bad just working on that fine detail. Crazy Ed said, "I'll give you $800 for your CNC machine." Sold. Come get it. 800 bucks, it's yours, but you don't get the computer. I don't really use it a whole lot, but yeah, that's about what I paid for it. I know they cost quite a bit more now because the price of wood and everything's went up through the roof. Struggle and Strive says it's good to be around again. I didn't have phone service for a couple weeks. Ended up having to go with a new provider. Yeah, I'm considering. So I have Straight Talk right now, and the crazy thing is Ed out there at the at Adam's place. He had enough service that he could send like text messages every now and then, and emails. I didn't have that either, even that. And yeah, I mean, we both had the same phone service, but then when my wife was out there, she had, I think it's Cricket Wireless, and she had service enough. I think she could like make a phone call. So that's just crazy. Oh, what is shipped to now? So I know it's a lot of work and breaks for your hands too. Yeah, I mean, when you're doing a lot of carving, or like when you're tracing someone's logo on there, I use the stylus from my Cricut cutter, That way it's not like you can use an ink pen or a pencil and trace it. And so I use that stylus, and just like holding that thing and trying to be very precise with it, makes your hands cramp up really bad. So I don't think I could do probably more than 2 cups in a day, and like literally doing 2 of them start to finish in a day would almost be impossible. But I'm trying to get it set up to where I get a bunch of blanks cut out in one day. Let's say do like 20 blanks in a day, and that'll really, kind of streamline things, and make it a little quicker. Miss Mary said she needs to talk to me about her logo. Yeah, I might be able to work with you on your logo or something. I'm not like I didn't go to college or anything to learn how to do logos or anything, but I can be pretty creative, I guess. You just have to give me kind of a direction that you're wanting to go, an idea. Struggle and strive. So we have Boost, and it doesn't work at work anymore, and it doesn't work on our property. I had to go back to Verizon. Yeah, years ago, I went to Walmart and I got I think it was, no, I went to AT&T, and I got a contract through AT&T, and where we lived at the time, we were renting a trailer house, and I had pretty good service there, and I was like, okay, this is good. And about a month or so later, I had zero service, and it continued like that. At the house we had nothing, so I called AT&T, and they said, oh, we had a contract with that tower, which we don't have anymore. And I said, well, I'm dropping my service with you because I've had it only a little over a month, and you guys canceled your contract with that cell tower, whoever owned the cell tower, and they wanted to charge me the early cancellation fees and all that, and I just told them to kick rocks. Phyllis Wemhenner, howdy. MNC said, we have good service out here. Sure you do, Al. Maybe with that walkie-talkie. Oh, what is she up to now? Said, oh, there it went. I don't have a logo. I am just low and go. Good morning, Grumpy Grandpa. Good to see you this morning. Al saying good morning to Mark Falloon over there, Grumpy Grandpa Patriot Show. If Debbie's around, tell her I said hi also. I think that's what happened here. Yeah, they don't always own all the cell towers, and they'll have contracts on them or whatever. If it's not making them money or whatever, then they don't re-sign it. Oh man, it's a super nice morning out here this morning, guys. I don't even know what all I'm going to do today. I know I need to work on those cups, get those done so I can get those shipped out. Yeah, I just don't know what else I'm going to do. I have let me turn you guys around here a little bit. There's a log on the mill right there. I don't know if you guys can tell me what species that is, but I use the that Picture This app. I took a picture of that bark because I didn't know what it was. I was like, well, I don't know. It looks to me what I would call turkey oak. I think they call that turkey oak. But the app told me that was persimmon. But I milled it. The other part of it, I was milling it. I thought, well, shoot, if that's persimmon, I'm going to make some cups out of that. And so I milled out a big cant out of that, and it looks like oak to me. It's got the medullary rays in the quarter sawn part of it that kind of looks like that tiger striping. It just looks like oak, and it smells like a black oak or something. it looks like it's more structurally sound in the grain than black oak. I have no idea what it is, but I've had that log sitting here for almost 3 years and just decided to mill it. It's got a little bit of spalting in it, just in the sapwood. But anyways, I don't know if it'll make a very good cup. It's just going to be an experiment, I guess. That's my biggest trouble right now, is trying to find some more black cherry. I'm going to have to, I guess, put a post out on Facebook Marketplace looking for anyone who can bring me some cherry logs. I'm going to have to buy some logs, I guess, if you guys are wanting some cups. Because black cherry seems to be really good. It doesn't like to split and crack near as easy as like oak. White oak ain't near as bad as red oak. Red oak is just horrible. Struggle Strive says, sounds beautiful with the birds chirping. Yeah, I love it out here. This is great. Get the trains going by every morning too. Yeah. And Al saying, you hear birds? Yep. It just kind of fades into the background around here. Last night we had the crickets and the cicadas and everything just going nuts. And the mosquitoes too. The mosquitoes come out around here in the afternoons if I try to water the garden in the afternoon when I put the chickens up. And usually when everybody else is going live around 7 or 8 o'clock, that's around the time I'm out here watering. Like Ridge Life the other day had his live, and I was out here putting the chickens up and watering and stuff, and there's people saying hi to me in the chat, and I'm like, have to stop what I'm doing, drop the water hose and say hi to them. Usually I'm not sitting down in those live streams. I'm like doing something else. I can't hardly sit still sometimes. I'm going to work at 9 so I can watch Dave right now. Oh, you don't have to work it until 9? Cool. You can make anything into something, Dave. Yeah, that's kind of been my specialty my whole life, I guess, is like fixing things. And that's why I have so much junk around here. I save so much stuff up. I'm like, oh, I can make this out of that, or I can do this with that. M. Pedmar. What's up, Margie? Al said, can't hear crickets or cicada. You can't hear that? I can hear the crickets right now. It's like a high pitch, little cricket noise. Let's see if I missed anything up here. Tell North and South she needs to get back after making some videos. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of her videos. I was like, well, if I'm going to wear her shirt today, I'm going to go watch some of her videos and stuff and like look through her channel and kind of see what it's about. And I mean, she's got like a bunch of like food preservation videos and garden tour videos and stuff. It's like, looks like a pretty cool channel. I simply, guys, if I'm watching everybody else's channels, I watch everyone else's videos, that means I'm not working, and I'm trying to do YouTube as an income. So I have to, be working on this stuff. And like, I'm always, either downstairs working on something or trying to think something up, or I'm on the computer trying to think of a new idea or whatever. And, I've got a few people wanting to do some collabs with me, but I don't know if it's really something I want to do. Another person that wanted, I've done a collab with before, has contacted me. He's wanting to do another collab, but he wanted me to help him build a bench or something, give some tips and tricks and stuff on building a bench. I'm just like, I don't know that I'm your guy for that, because there's about 1 million different ways you could build a bench, and there's a million different things, like aspects that you're trying to, go for, like rustic or refined, contemporary, modern, whatever. And then all the different types of joinery or something you could use, and what wood are you using? I mean, it's so broad. I was like, how can I give you a tip or trick on something like that? I mean, I do have a video already uploaded that I'll be releasing probably tomorrow, um, about, just talking about ways to make your tiny wood shop profitable. Kind of some things you need to do if you're going to try to make a business out of it. Um, just basically talking about things you can do in your wood shop to kind of try to, streamline things. And I'd honestly, if I had a much bigger wood shop, if this whole yard out here had a roof over it, it would be too small for me. I would have it filled up in no time. Oh, let's see. Marty says, beautiful nature noises going on all around you. Yep, 24/7 out here. I love it. I'm just outside of town, uh, so I can do whatever I want out here. Um, it's great. Freedom. I have the greatest neighbors in the world. The neighbor across the street in the bright blue house, I wish he had painted a different color, but he's a great neighbor, really awesome guy. He lets my kids hunt over there on his property. Then the guy who owns this right over here, um, he lets us hunt over there. He doesn't even live over there. His brother lives in the house down the road now, but he still owns this property. Um, really, really great guy. And then the lady that lives right next door to me, she's really awesome. Her husband was a ex-Navy veteran, and that's one reason I fly that flag out there every day. I never take it down. I know a lot of people are like, you should take that down whenever it's raining, or you should do this. And I'm like, you should kiss my butt, because that flag's never coming down. If someone tries to take it down, they're going to get shot. uh, let's see. Is black walnut good for carving? It's not the best for that. But yes, you can carve it. Uh, I think it's like beech. I want to say. I think it's beech and basswood is some of the woods that people really like to use for carving. But it depends on what you're trying to make. Like the kuksa, wooden coffee cup. It's traditionally made from Nordic birch, uh, burl. So burl is extremely hard to carve, and so I wouldn't want to carve it, but it's good for a cup because of the twisting grain features in it. Makes it hard for the cup to crack. Excuse me. Have you tried an amp meter on the fan? No, I don't have one. I wish I had one. Like the amp meters that go around the wire to tell you how many amps is going through it. I don't know if I could do that with the voltmeter I have. I don't think so. But yeah, I don't have one of those. Um, or just unplug. Where'd it go? Just unplug the fan and see without a load. The voltage to the fan comes on with the relay without the fan load. I got to think about that for a minute. What? Load without a load. The voltage to the fan comes on with the relay without the fan. Oh, like just check the voltage when it kicks on. Yeah, it kicks on and off and on just fine. But I think what it is, like, I want to say that it's possible that the ECM is kicking it off early, or there could be. I want to say it's just the fans drawing too many amps. That's what a lot of people told me, that the fans drawing too many amps if it burnt any of those connections. Margie says cedar wood is good for carving. Yeah, I mean, you can do almost anything with that cedar, the red cedar. Also ohm out the fan ground to frame ground and ohm out, 12-volt fan cable to relay to see if it has any resistance. Also ohm out the fan ground cable to positive cable to see if you have a short. I could do that, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new fan because I'm 99% sure that's what it is. And the hard part is like this whole time dragging the series on and kind of knowing what the problem is, but that's not good for video. And then the comments, I'm just like, I can't say nothing. If you guys have ever had to do it, you'd know what I mean. But you figure things out a lot faster than what you put the videos out. And I would get comments and already have another video out, like posted, but not made public yet. I'm like, well, I can't change the video now. Oh man, I'm getting lost here. Let's see. Margie says, my dad always used our cedar to carve animals. That's cool. Desiree said, hi, Margie Pedmore. To carve animals, chains, trains, cannons. That's awesome. I wish I'd gotten into carving a lot sooner. It's something I've always been able to do. I just never took the time really to sit down and do it. And I always sit there and thought, man, I couldn't do that, and I would love to learn how to do, and I've been watching videos on how to do like the checkering and stuff on like gun stocks, because I'm going to make a gun stock for my great grandfather's old Damascus twist double barrel shotgun. That thing is really cool. It's a little rusty because my grandma had put socks on it, those big long tube socks on the gun, and put it into the closet and stored it there for years. And the socks held moisture against it and just rusted the heck out of it. It'll never probably be shot again, but it'll look cool if I put another stock, because it doesn't have any wood on it. I guess the wood had rotten or broke off of it years ago. And so all I have is the metal and screws and stuff to it. Desiree says, hey, if any of you are in the tropical storm area like me, stay safe. Desiree, where do you live? Are you down in like Florida? I can't keep track of all that kind of stuff. But, I wish I could get some Tiger Wood or Purple Heart. That stuff's a little pricey. I don't know. I don't like working with exotic woods just because it costs too much, and a lot of people don't want to pay the extra that it costs for that. I watched King's Fine Woodworking. He built a vise out of some is all exotic woods, and that thing looked freaking awesome. He done that a few years ago. Alice has got to go take care of the animals. Y'all have a great day. All right, Al, we'll see you. Crazy as hell. Oh, I already read that one. There, the chat's jumping now. As race. Thank you, Martha. Martha Jessica or good morning. Hey, Martha, you left a comment. You said that Life 360 will tell you your speed, and my wife has that app. I'm not putting that on my phone. For one, she'll be tracking me everywhere I go. But that's how she tracks our kids and how fast they go. And one day, my son was actually at grandma's. He hadn't went anywhere, and that app said he was doing 94 mile an hour. So not a very good app. It's not very accurate. I know there's other apps out there. There's like speedometer apps and stuff. I've had them before. Like they'll tell you what like your elevation is, your speed and everything there, and they're fairly accurate. But that Life 360, like if I take one of the kids with me into town, it tells my wife like as soon as the kids leave like a geocached area, uh, it's like, hey, so and so left home or whatever. I'm like, man, you ain't putting that on my phone. I'm not going to be tracked. I don't care who you are. Yeah, my son got a butt tune. I was like, because he had just got his pickup a little bit before that, and it said he was doing 94. I flipped out. I was like, I'll take your truck away. Give me the keys. He's like, I've been at Grandma's all day. I didn't go anywhere. And she vouched for him, said he hadn't been nowhere. So, yeah, it was just the app, I guess. Um, is Desiree leaving? I didn't see that. Um, she said, thank you, Phyllis. Stay safe, Willis. Um, Willis Dockery, 100% rain tomorrow. I haven't looked at the weather for around here. Last, what was it, 2 days ago? I guess it's Saturday. Yeah. Or maybe, no, it's Friday. Friday, I think we had just a little bit of sprinkles here. And Grumpy Grandpa said, well, you're being tracked no matter what. And by different people, not my wife. I'm used to my freedom. 20 something years over the road, no one like tracking me other than Big Brother. I don't care if Big Brother tracks me and sees everything I look at or see or do or on whatever on the internet. Like, whatever. They can kiss my, you know what? Uh, Martha, so my sister and I use it. She makes sure I'm okay and I check where she is before I call her. Adventures with Sweetwater popping in to say hi. Hey, what's up? Have a good day. You could stick around for a little bit, you know? Poor boys, a little homestead. Uh, that's correct, Grandpa. Yeah, good old Big Brother watching us, tracking us. Old Google tracks me. I'll get a, I'll get an email, like once a month, and it'll show all the different places I've been. And back when I was driving a truck, man, there would be zigzags all over Texas and Oklahoma when I worked in the oil field. It was like, man, I've been everywhere this last month. Um, Grandpa says, I'm tracking you right now. You're at home. Yeah, you don't know that. We'll cover up the Chevy and the mill here. Grandpa says, hi, poor boys. Love the crawfish soup. I didn't get to see that one. Um, yeah, poor boys homestead. Isn't that what it was? Poor boys little homestead. Y'all have to go check your channel out. I may already be subscribed. Like a lot of people who have subscribed to me, I'll go check out your channel most of the time. And if it's something I think I'll watch now and then, I'll go ahead and subscribe. But I'm subscribed to so many thousands of channels. It's insane. There's no way I could possibly watch everyone's stuff. You guys hear that squirrel behind me? He's gonna be barking at me here in a minute. I almost brought my squirrel call out this morning just to mess with you guys. Martha says she drove a truck for 25 years. Desiree said I'm tracking my aunt. She is in her Sprinter van and traveling north and all over for, I think, 2 months. Cool. Yeah, I like these traveling videos and stuff. Like, even though I've spent the last 20 some odd years, either in a truck or something, driving around everywhere, all over the U.S. and Canada.
I think the only contingent United States state that I haven't been in or I can't recall being in is Vermont. Uh, I don't recall ever going through there. I may have been through there whenever I was team driving with my brother, but I honestly cannot remember if I've been to Vermont or not. So I just said, I've not been to Vermont. I did have a chance to go up to Alaska when I worked for American Ramp Company. I was a crew leader for them, building skateboard parks everywhere. And they had a job up there in Unalaska, Alaska. And he said, "So, when do you want to go to Alaska?" And I'm like, how am I getting there? He said, "You're gonna fly on a little plane." I said, "I've never flown before, and you're not about to get me to either. I drive everywhere I go." And you know, I'm a little anxious about getting on a plane, and they're like, "Well, it's going to be real easy, all this and that." They're talking it up, and I was like, "You guys are just talking this up." And it's a bunch of pipeline welders up there, guys that could build literally anything. And I had made up blueprints for them, so they had blueprints. And they're like, "All you got to do is take the prints up there, give it to them, answer any questions for them, and then your contact person is like a guide, and he's going to take you fishing." I was like, "I don't believe you." There's I thought about it for a few days, and I just said no, I don't want to do it. So my right hand guy, I asked him if he wanted to go. I said, "Do you have any problems with flying on a tiny plane?" He's like, "I don't know." He's been on planes before, but he didn't have an issue with it. He went up there and he was sending me pictures every now and then of these big fish and stuff he was catching. And that's been like probably the only thing in life I've ever regretted not doing. I was like, "Man, I missed out." Um, give the squirrel a nut to be your friend. I am not giving it a nut. Um, Grumpy says, "Poor boy is a good guy, David. He fits in with us. Knucklehead." Cool. I'll have to go check out his channel. Um, what is she up to now? Give the squirrel. I already seen that one. I'm not giving that squirrel a nut. I cut down its walnut tree, so it's pissed off at me. But I didn't want the walnut tree falling on my house. Um, it seemed like it was leaning more and more every year. And then my big oak tree right here, that I entered into the Big Wood Challenge or contest, whatever, it got hit by lightning several months ago. And so I think it may die. It did green up this year, but I don't know if it's going to anymore. You may not watch, but it helps others just to subscribe to their channel. I'm sure we all have some subscribers that never watch a video, but appreciate that they're supporting. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton. I mean, thousands and thousands of people I'm subscribed to that I don't watch. And that, I mean, there's a lot of homestead channels and stuff that I'm subscribed to, and I'll go pop in, and maybe I have like I do a little gardening and stuff. I don't know much about gardening, so I don't really do videos on gardening. But I'll grow some stuff and I'll can some green beans, some things that I'll actually eat. This year I did nothing with my garden, and I got those cherry tomato plants that just popped up. That they kind of grew themselves this year. And then the chickens apparently planted some sorghum for me, so I'm drying some sorghum out. And so I'll go and scour those channels that I'm subscribed to. I'll go look through and see if they have videos on stuff like that. And usually I just end up typing in a question like how to dry sorghum, how to make syrup from sorghum, or what uses are there for sorghum. And that's one thing I see a lot of people don't do with their YouTube channel. They don't think about how they would search for something and put that in their either their title or their description. And that's probably something you should do. I'm not saying I know everything about how to, put my videos out there, which I'm still new to it. Even though I'm 12 years into doing YouTube, I've just here in the last couple years started to actually take it more seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go subscribe to your channel and see what kind of stuff you put out. Um, Good morning, struggle and strive from altruistic. Hey, good morning, altruistic. Um, what is she up to now? Those are volunteer. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to think of. I was like, I know there's a word for it, but like I said, I'm not waking up real great this morning. There goes my lovely neighbor. At least he's not being too noisy this morning. I'm thinking about taking the mufflers off of this Mustang so I can be louder than those guys. This this three valve, it sounds amazing. I mean, to me, it sounds a lot like a Hemi. Uh, the Hemi being a four valve, but you know, this Mustang I have, they call it a three valve. It has three valves in it, and I can just imagine what it would sound like if I took those mufflers out or maybe hollowed them out or something, make it a little louder. But at the same time, I used to have a 69 Chevy, a lot like this one here, but it was white with black, and it had a 400 small block. I still have that 400 small block, but it had California dumps and cherry bombs on it. And I tell you what, my first long trip I ever took, I was hauling a buddy of mine uh, that lives over in Oklahoma. I was hauling his wife's minivan up to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I drove straight through all the way up to Lake Geneva, hauling that minivan up there for him to get the motor changed out. And then I took like a 2 or 3 hour nap or so and drove all the way back. There goes the other neighbor, the guy with the dump truck, the excavating company. All right. So hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys. Put a couple cherry bombs on it. It'd be loud. It would sound good. Oh yes, the 400 small block, and I had a 4-speed with Granny. It's a top loader 4-speed transmission that they had in them old Chevys, which was low geared as could be. It had 411 rears in it. Had some really nice wide tires on it, but I couldn't hardly keep tires on it for anything. I had that big old Edelbrock Performer intake on it, and a 4-barrel Edelbrock carburetor on it, brand spanking new. I had the Excel coil and plugs, the whole distributor on there. That thing was just nice. It ran good. And when I would downshift, it would cackle. One time over in Miami, uh, it was like a second gear burnout from a light, and there was a cop sitting over there across the street from me. I didn't even see him. He pulled me over and wrote me a ticket. I forget what he put on that ticket. It was something about showing off horsepower or something like that. I was like, man, you're just giving me a badge of honor or something here. Good old my younger days when I worked at J&J Railcar building railroad cars. I had a welder. It was a 225 Bobcat Miller portable welder at the time. I just bought that welder. I had that in the bed of that truck. That was my welding rig. Everyone's saying good morning to altruistic. Yeah, I missed that 400 small block. I mean, I've got it back here in my shed. It's all tore apart. I ended up having that motor rebuilt by a guy, and I paid him little over $3,000 to rebuild that, and it's like $800 to rebuild one, just for a basic rebuild. But I was like, I want all the best stuff. I want roller rockers. I want a big cam. I want a steel racing crank. Blah blah blah. And he built it, and I went in and I filmed the part where he was putting the valves and stuff on. I was like, I thought I said I wanted roller rockers. He was putting regular rockers in there. He's like, we didn't, the cam you're using or something wasn't big enough to need those or some whatever. Gave me a line of BS, and I was young, so I didn't know. And so he built the engine out for me and everything, and I had it for several years without putting it in a vehicle. And then it was an 86 Chevy 1-ton that it had a flatbed on it. I paid $1,000 for it. It had a 350 in it that had been hot a few times. So I pulled that motor out and put the 400 in, and it did great for about 3 months. And then it started backfiring and stuff. I was actually doing some volunteer work for a church. We were moving a half pipe from a church over in Diamond, Missouri, up to the church, my buddy's church up there next to FedEx in Joplin. And I was hauling a skid steer for him. And so I was using the 1-ton, and I had built that flatbed into a dump bed. And so I was using it after I hauled the skid steer up there for him. It started backfiring when I was hauling that. And so I was there, and they had some other guys from the church out there with backhoes and stuff digging up where they were going to put a playground. Hey, Adam, what's up? Good morning. Margie says, love the 350 rocket. Yeah. So anyways, I was up there volunteering, doing this work for the church, and the truck just like progressively was getting worse and worse. And I was just basically, the backhoe would load dirt on me. I would take it to the back of the property and dump it for them, so they weren't having to make so many trips with the backhoe bucket. And eventually the motor just got to where it didn't want to run at all. And so I told him, I said, I've got to quit. I got to take this thing home because I don't know if it's even going to make it home. I got it home, started taking things apart, and some of the rocker arms were split. So I had to go buy some more, put those on, and got the valve lash and everything set. Drove it for a little while longer. I finished out that work for those guys. And, it was, I don't know, a week or two later, the motor just, shelled out on me. It didn't blow up or anything, but it started really badly backfiring. I had, fire coughing up through the carburetor and everything. I was like, man, I don't know what's going on with this. So I pulled it out, tore it apart. And when I pulled the cam out, the cam lobes were pretty much round. They looked like really rough nickels. All that metal, when I drained the oil out of the pan, there was just a bunch of shiny metal coming out. Brand new pistons, that got metal embedded into the sidewalls of the pistons. I'll have to take a picture of one and post it for you guys to see one of these days. I'll try to remember to do that later so you guys can see some of that. But yeah, I've got all the parts back there. I got a new cam for it that now has surface rust on it because I've had it so many years. I just haven't had time to go and buy new pistons and all that and go through, and put it back together. And that's the motor that I'm going to put in this 69 Chevy. But I also have to buy a transmission for it. I don't have a transmission. I let my brother borrow that for a while, and the transmission went out, and the motor that was in it wasn't doing very good. So I ended up pulling. I'd taken the 400 out of my 1-ton, and so I took the 350 out of that, and because it still ran, the transmission had went out on the 69 Chevy that's behind me. I took that 350 from it and I put it in the 1-ton, and I sold the 1-ton. So now I still have the 400. I'd rather have the 400. Oh, morning, Adam. What are you up to? You need some, man, I just had it right on the tip of my tongue. That clay stuff you put in your pond. It slipped my mind again. Anyways, Get a little bag of that stuff and sprinkle it in that pond. It should seal it up. You might see if you can find a cheap bag of it. The bentonite clay, that's what it is. If you can maybe find it on Amazon or something, have it shipped to you. Just a small bag of bentonite. Just sprinkle that in there. What is she up to now? Hello at Likeable Homestead. Glad you showed up because now you can help make Dave laugh. Adam said, "Good morning, Mary. Miss Mary." The cool kid crowd. I'm not going to forget that from the Missouri Homesteaders meetup. It's like, we're the cool kids. And all of us sitting over there smoking in our little smokers group. So yeah, I'll look some up, but he can't see my face. I could just imagine your face and it making me laugh. You'd probably be like making some funny faces at me or something. Man, it's already 8:10. Are you kidding me? It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Time flies when you're having fun, right? I really enjoy you guys showing up to these lives. I tell you what, when nobody shows up, when you do just a random live and like no one shows up or one person shows up and then they jump out, they're like, oh man, I'm the only one in here. Uh, that's rough, you know. Like the boy, it's a funny looking face. I bet. Gotta have some sugar in my coffee. I can't do that straight black bitter coffee. No, gotta have some sugar at least in there. It's okay, you can't see my dancing on the counter. She is dancing on the counter every Monday morning. I don't know what you look like, what a she up to now, but I can only imagine. You sound like a ball of fun. Are you driving right now, Ed? Good morning, Mom. Got some coffee. Hope you got that ignition stuff figured out with your Blazer. You said something about there was like a spring or something stuck in there. I had that same problem years ago with that Bronco that I had, that Bronco 2, and I got to messing with it, and it ended up costing me more money. Had I just called up a locksmith and had them come out and remove the lock out of the steering column and replace that lock, it would have only cost me like $40 or $45. But it ended up costing me like $100 and something because I jacked around with it trying to fix it myself, which actually messed it up worse than it was. So when those little spring things break in there, you're actually just better off to call a locksmith and have them come change that lock on the steering column. But I don't know because I'm not there to look at it, and I can't afford to drive over there right now. After taking that little 30 some odd mile trip around in the Mustang, I was like, wow, uh, the motor is not completely stock. It does have the stock tune, and that's the biggest problem. The kid, the lady I got the Mustang from, her son was working on it in a class at a college, and they were like, "Oh,
do this to it, do that to it, or whatever. They bought the engine from a guy who has several engines and he builds them for his race car. So the engine was actually built to be ran in a race car. It was newly rebuilt. Uh, the rings and everything were gapped in it for nitrous. So the motors, it's built to run nitrous right now. And then on the intake, there's an air modulator valve that goes in there on both sides of the intake. And there's actually a delete kit that they bought and put on there that gets rid of that. So basically, it just allows full airflow into it. So that's one reason it doesn't get really great gas mileage right now, because it's not stock and it doesn't have a tune on it. They gave me the SCI tuner with it, but that tuner is married to another vehicle, so I cannot put a tune. I can't go in and change anything. It's locked. So what I have to do is actually call up SCI, talk to them, pay them like $150 for them to unlock it. And once they unlock it, then I can actually use it to tune. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Like I said, good morning, Betty and Lori Carp. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, okay, yeah. He's driving across Arkansas right now, headed towards North Carolina. You still got your passenger with you, Crazy Ed? I hope she's enjoying the ride. Uh, I know what it can be like for a passenger in a semi truck. My wife rode with me before. A lot of times they can really just kind of, they'll get burned out really quick. And you want to get the heck out of the truck. All my wife did was like sleep. Like, I would drive 18 or 20 hours a day, and she would like come up there and sit in the front seat for 15 minutes, and she'd be over there against the window just snoozing. I'm like, hey, wake up. Um, I hope you make it on time, man. Hope you're getting good rest, man. Be careful out there. So you don't deliver till tomorrow. You got plenty of time. As long as you get rid of that Elon. Dang you. Don't get me started on Elogs. Alright, Betty says, I haven't done anything. Steering column is in locked position. Don't have money to do anything right now. Trust me, I know what that's like, Mom. You know my situation. Yep. I wish I could come over there and look at it, but honestly, I I want to say that it's probably just the lock thing is broke or something. I just don't know. Those people we got that from, they kind of jacked with it a little bit. Yeah. Look at the gas you're saving her money to buy gas. Well, the thing is now, if she wants to go to the grocery store, she's got to call somebody to come pick her up and take her. Like, there's the local like kind of bus service thing that she has to pay them to come get her. Yeah, Ed, I heard you say that they don't want you to show what's on your trailer anymore. I can get that with like the military stuff that you haul or whatever, but like what you have on there right now, I don't see why. Everybody can see it going down the road. That's why I've never let dispatch or anybody ever know that I had a YouTube channel, because I just don't want to deal with them. What is she up to now? So I know I had to pay someone to take me. So I do know what that is like. Yeah. I think we all kind of know what that's like. We've all been in that spot before. My mom was in that spot for a very long time, and then I was finally able to find a decent vehicle for a pretty good price from a local logger. It was a personal vehicle of his. I think that his wife drove or something. No, actually, I think he said he bought that for him to drive, but it's not four-wheel drive, so he didn't want it no more. Thinking about getting a mule and buggy. As long as you can keep it fed. That's the thing with like a car. If you can't put gas in it, it can sit out there for a few months and it doesn't necessarily die on you. Yes, but she's bored. Uh, I can imagine, Ed, and that could be some of the issues, right? Being bored and wanting to get the heck out of that truck. Us truck drivers, we can like we can handle it a lot better. Like me and the solitude, being in a truck by myself and literally not talking to another soul for months at a time was not an issue. Uh, I It didn't bother me. I would start to get homesick after about 3 or 4 months on the road. I'd start wanting to go home because the whole time, you're sitting there thinking about things you want to do, and you guys have all these plans and stuff that you want to do on that property. I could just imagine she wants to get the heck out of that truck and get started on things. So, yeah, I get it. Mm, what is she up to now? At Like a Boy Homestead, we can race my wagons. I'll test the dump latch with the race. She's going to get in front of you and just dump that pile of dirt in front of you or something. Adam's laughing. Well, that sun it come up over the peak of the roof of the house there, and it's getting me right in the eyes now. Now it feels like morning. You got some sun going on here and start waking up. My chickens want out of their coops so bad, but they haven't been laying their eggs in the coop for almost a week now. I haven't got any eggs from them. I don't know where they're laying them. So I told them, I said, "You're not getting out today. You're going to learn how to lay your eggs in there." I don't want to run out of eggs. I mean, I've got more eggs than I can use right now. Um, and I've posted eggs for sale on Facebook, and you know how Facebook is. And everyone's like, "Well, you have to post egg cartons for sale or whatever." I haven't done that yet. I think one thing I need to do is make a big sign or something and put out here in front of the house and say, "I got eggs for sale." My neighbor over here behind me that I used to buy eggs from, he got rid of his chickens. Good morning, Robertson's Belly Acres. Good to see you guys in here this morning. Hey, I figured if I stayed on here long enough, I'd get some of y'all in here. We got 9 people in here right now. I don't know how many we've been up to. I haven't been looking. Um, how many thumbs up do we have, guys? I can't see it. I'm in StreamYard, so. What is she up to now? I said, no, Adam would be in the wagon racing me in the red flyer wagon. Oh. Robertson says, morning, Adam. Desiree Sam Pierce at 25 thumbs up. Sweet. Awesome. Adam said, oh, he said, morning, RBA, Robertson Belly Acres. What is she up to now? 26. Woohoo! Smash that thumbs up, guys. That's awesome. 8:23. So I've been on here a little over an hour. I don't care how long I'm on here. I don't have much to do today. So as long as you guys want to be in here and we got stuff to talk about, I'll hang out.
Morning, Lori Carp. Yeah, at some point today, I've got to get started finishing up Eric's cups, get those done so I can get them shipped out to him so you guys can see what they look like. But I've got things drawn on them right now, and if I don't screw it up, they're going to look sweet. 27 thumbs up now. Man. And only 8 people in here. That's awesome. So we've had quite a few people in here who have smashed the thumbs up. That is really awesome, guys. Adam says he can hang out a bit longer. I can't wait till the next time I get to come out there. Somebody's going to have to pay me to come out this next time, though, if I'm bringing the mill and stuff, because I can't afford it. Before I was selling a little bit of lumber here and there, and that is just completely shut off. It seems like every time they start up this pandemic stuff again with the, you know what I'm talking about? Every time they start that up again, business just completely stops. And I just don't get it. I've only had one person show up here with a mask on, and I think the only reason he had a mask on was because he's like a local home remodeler, and he just stopped by because he was doing some remodeling stuff for my neighbor, and he stopped by and talked for a little bit. But he has a mill himself, I believe he said, and he's been in one of these lives before. I remember talking to him for a little bit. And he is the only person who had a mask on. He took it off a few times, and I just want to say, man, you don't need that around here. Not here at my place. You don't need to show up with a mask on. I ain't worried about it. I've probably had it 3 or 4 times now, and it knocked me down a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. I would say it's just the flu. It's just another form of the flu. If it takes me out, it takes me out. I ain't worried. Impact Mars. Morning, Rusty and Rachel. Desiree says, staying in today due to the storm, so I can hang out. But I need a second cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm on my second cup right now, and as you can tell, I'm not wanting to drink too much of it. I didn't even know we had hurricanes going on right now. I don't turn the TV on. I don't watch that stuff. I'm not interested in the news anymore. If 2 old people on a couch doesn't put it out there, I don't need to watch it. That's really honestly how I feel anymore. I'm just so over like the drama and stuff they put in the news that I am willing to miss out on all the other news, like, what's going on in the country. Is there hurricanes or whatever going on? Because I don't know. I got burnt out on all the BS that they stick in there with everything. Robert says, isn't that weird? I would think that the pandemic would drive people to buy more, not less. Yeah, I know. That's what you would think. Like, the price went through the roof here for a 2x4. When it first started, was like $7 or $8 or something, I think, when I first noticed it. And, of course, everyone, they're like, hey, do you got 2x4s? Well, I don't have pine trees here. I rarely get pine. And usually when I do, they're like a beetle kill. So it's not something you would want to use for structural stuff. I mean, you could use it for studs. But I'm not that kind of mill. I've got a hobby mill. I can't really compete with someone who has a board edger and stuff like that. And my focus is more trying to make maybe stuff for like post and beam or woodworking stuff, like countertops, stuff like that. That has to be my niche. I mean, to compete and sell oak, like oak is actually more expensive. It's supposed to be anyway,
than pine. You know, like $4 or $5 a board foot is what you should be selling good dry oak for. And then, unless it's rough cut, I mean, if you haven't, if it's not S4S, you know, then you're probably charging $1.50 a board foot. And then they want me to compete with Lowe's prices, and I'm like, no, it's not like that. Desiree said, I get my updates from friends since I do not have cable TV. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Fox used to be, and so, and I could watch stuff like Fox or CNN, and I get like their rhetoric or whatever you call it, the spin they had put on it, and I could see through that. And so I would watch it and I'd get the news from them, but, you know, I knew what I could believe or what I couldn't believe. And now I just, any news channel, I can't really believe what because they're not putting true journalism into it. They're not sticking to honesty. They putting their spin on it, or omitting things, you know, not telling the whole truth. And it just disgusts me. So they've lost my faith. So can't watch them no more. I'd rather watch you guys on YouTube. Robertson says, "Hey, Ed's Crazy Homestead. I hate the mentality that custom work should be done as cheap as the big box stores. People forget that you are doing things exactly the way they want." Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was tagged in a guy's post the other day on Facebook, and he was bashing me without really mentioning my name. But my cousin-in-law seen the post and he tagged me in it, and he was talking about how unprofessional hobby millers around in this area are. I'm like, there's only 3 of us in this area, uh, and one of them doesn't even do work for other people. I don't know of any other people that have mills around here. Um, you know, so yeah. I was like, okay, he's talking about me, and I've talked to him before, and it was the same lie. He just said the same lie again. He's like saying that he has a project that his contractor quit on him a couple months ago. Well, he talked to me about it like 6 months ago, and it was the same thing. He said that his contractor quit on him a couple months ago. He needs someone to mill for him. And I was like, man, I can't remember exactly how that conversation stopped. And then I went back and I found it. And this guy was just like, it was constant back and forth, like 3 days worth of messaging back and forth. And he finally got down to price and everything. And I told him what my price was, which I way undercut myself. Most guys that have a portable mill around here are going to charge you $1,000 to move their mill. $1,000 to move it. And I said $200 a day, you know, way undercut my price, what I should charge. And he balked at it. He was like, that is way too much money. I was like, are you kidding me? $100 for me and $100 for my mill? No, I think that's pretty stinking reasonable. Crazy as I may look into a sawmill. Good luck getting one right now. If you ordered one right now and put your money down on it, you won't get it through probably any manufacturer. You won't get the mill until probably next spring. It's like Country Road Cure and Simple Life Reclaim. Those guys looked into it, or I think they have actually placed their order, and it's going to be like wintertime before they get theirs. I don't know when I'm supposed to go out there to their property. They contacted me and wanted to know when I could come out, and I'm like, hey, it is too stinking hot right now. I'm not even running my mill right now. Like the most I've done on milling in the last probably 2 months is I put this one log on there and milled it up yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. It was nice and cloudy and cool that day. It's the only reason I done that. I can't be out there in the heat and have another heat stroke. I don't know that I had a heat stroke. I know I passed out from heat exhaustion and just woke up in the woods. It was pretty scary. I didn't know where I was. Joy Bless Life, good morning. Good to see you. Like Boy Homestead, or such a shyster. What did I do? Why am I a shyster, Adam? I'm a shyster for what? For having to charge $200 a day to pay my expenses. Those blades ain't cheap. Adam's seen how many blades I went through. I had like 10 blades. I went through 8 or 9 of them. I think I had 1 or 2 left when I left there. But we did hit some metal. And that's not too common. Adam said it is very scary to go through heat exhaustion, and heat stroke is even worse. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what it was. I know I quit sweating, and I didn't think too much of it because there was a cool breeze that had come through, and this was like, I want to say it's like October, November of 2019. And I was out doing the storm damage cleanup, hauling logs in here to the property. And I don't even remember what happened, but thankfully my chainsaw was off. But I woke up and my chainsaw laying next to me, and I was just laying there on the ground. Crazy. I said, "Oh, I guess I overheated." And so I went over and started grabbing water and dumping it over my head. I got in the truck. Luckily, my pickup still has air conditioning. Adam said, I was surprised how many trees out here had nails in them. Well, I mean, that one was from the river. And that was what you remember. That was where it looked like they had a sign, like a no trespassing sign or something, by like the way the nails were in it. It's like every other cut on that thing, we hit another nail. It's like, oh my gosh. Like I'm not putting another blade on. We'll just keep running this one on this log. Adam said I've had both happen to me several times. Yeah, and those guys being off grid, I didn't really feel comfortable going out there in the heat. Uh, I mean, because if I was to overheat or something, I'd have to go like jump in the pool or something. They just have those little trailers, so I don't know. Hopefully, I'll be going out there pretty soon. I've got to get some money saved up again to get back out there. Somebody gave me money to go out there, and that money was spent to go out there the first time. I was like, well, I can't go out there twice on that amount of money, but I'll get back out there and I'll do some milling for them. And, I mean, I really need to go out there and I need to mill some stuff. Uh, I don't know how long of a mill they're getting, but they need to get it set up on a good solid foundation. So I need to get some beams or something milled up for them that they can put their mill on, since mine is probably as long or longer than what theirs is going to be. That was one thing I wish I had when I first got my mill. I wish I had some long beams to put it on to really stabilize it and keep it straight. And that's one reason I actually built it out of steel like I did, to where it's rigid, so it stays straight on me. Because having to go through and level that thing up every so often is just a pain. You could spend all day on it trying to get it straight. Robertson said, I would like to go work with you sometime, Dave. I think it would be extremely interesting. Yeah, if I ever work. I've gotten lazy, guys. I've really gotten lazy. I'm a old truck driver that decided to get crazy and get a sawmill for some crazy reason. Well, I mean, it's not really crazy. The sawmill was my retirement fund. I figured sell my semi truck, get out of that rat race, buy a sawmill because I've always wanted one, and it'll provide me with wood, and hopefully I can use it to make some money to pay the bills. I thought surely I could make a living. In the first 3 months that I got the sawmill, I done great. I was selling slabs like crazy, $200 to $300 a slab, and making good money. That was when the live edge stuff really was going strong. And then the COVID stuff happened, and it was like just someone turned the switch off, and there was no more business whatsoever. But I at least made enough money off that mill in 3 months to pay for itself. Not that it really paid me that money back, but it was paying my bills for 3 months. I'm guessing that's Rusty at Robertson Valley. I've never been afraid of hard work. I mean, Rachel ain't afraid of hard work either. I'm pretty sure that's Rusty I'm talking to. I'm pretty sure Rachel ain't gonna want to go milling with me. um, One of the channels that wants to do a collaboration with me, and I said yes, sir. Um, is what Rock Hill Farm. He's wanting me to do a collab with him on a bench. I'm just like, man, I'm really busy right now. Haven't got back with him yet. I'm still thinking about it. So uh, if you're watching this, I'm thinking about it. But I don't know how much I have to offer to that on building a bench and giving the tips and tricks, because there's 100 million ways probably to build a bench. But yeah, what a ship to now. It depends on where you can get customers to. Just wait, the demand will come strong again. Maybe, hopefully. You know, the coffee mugs, there seems to be a pretty big interest in those coffee mugs. And, you know, that all started just from my brother leaving a comment on one of my videos. He said, hey, you should try to make a kuksa. And I was just like, what the heck is a kuksa, right? And so I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, a wooden coffee cup, basically. But, like a traditional to the, a tribe or whatever, a northern tribe. And, that's the great thing about wood is, if you're drinking liquid or something from it and you put, a wooden bowl or cup to your mouth, it doesn't freeze to you, right? I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Not that that really matters where we live, um, but it's kind of cool and interesting. And then I just, I was like, I need something that's more like a modern coffee cup. Let me see if I can make something like that. And I was thinking through the whole process. And I'm like, how could I do that? Like, could I machine it? Could I turn it on the lathe or something? And whatever. And just trying to think through the whole process of making one. And I was like, well, I just need a Forstner bit. That'd be the simplest way. Drill it out and then carve the handle. And so right now I'm just working on getting that down to where I can really, make them quicker and be able to do kind of a production. Adam said, I will be hiring you to come back out here next spring. Yeah. If I'm not already moved out there, Adam. um, if I hired Dave, we wouldn't get any work done. Where'd it go? Because we got no trees. Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing. I love Oklahoma. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I did live in Arkansas for a few years, and we just kind of moved back and forth every few years, it seemed like, between Miami, Oklahoma, and like around Batesville and Cave City, Arkansas. Um, and then when I turned 16, I moved to Joplin to my dad's and just kind of stayed around this area ever since. But yeah, Oklahoma, like some areas got trees, but like Western Oklahoma, it's like the desert out there. And that, oh, I've got to live where there's trees.
Yeah, Adam, he has trees. They're just not real big. It's going to take a few years for those pines to grow big enough to use. He's got a few that are usable, but they're not exactly very accessible. Like I've got some big trees back here in the backyard. I've got a big, like 38-inch mocker nut hickory that's probably close to 200 foot tall or more. That thing is huge. Like you go up about 60 foot, and then there's three more like tree, like 30 something inch diameter trees on the top of that. The thing is huge. There's actually a video on it where I was asking people what kind of tree it was, and my buddy that I ran in the oil field with, um, he actually used to live down here in Arkansas, and his dad is a big logger outfit down there. And so he grew up in logging his whole life. And he's seen the video and he's like, that's a mocker nut hickory. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it is. The guy can look at any tree and like tell me what it is. Like we said, well, either way, I still have some work for you. um, Crazy as Adam, if you want, we can go in on that together to get him out here. For you guys, 200 a day, at least for the first day to get out there and back or whatever. I've got to cover my cost. Like a boy, so it would be good, Ed. Oh man, I touched it and it jumped on me. Um, Margie said, "God bless everyone. Have a blessed week. We'll see you later, Marge." Um, Robertson's Rachel and I started to move to the Seymour, Missouri area, but family illness kept us in Oklahoma. I tell you what, man. Last time I went over and seen my mom, I drove through Miami, and I grew up on welfare and stuff our whole life. My mom worked really hard. Single parent raising four boys. She done an amazing job. Busting her butt, working multiple jobs and stuff, doing what she had to do to provide for us. And I went back and I was taking my family through there. I was like, okay, let's go drive through some places like where I used to live. And I've seen like some of the houses we've lived in and rented and stuff. I've seen what they look like now. Some of them's been tore down and they're not there anymore, but some of them, oh my gosh, they look like there's been nothing done to them, and there's still people living in them. I was like, this town, I tell you, they've got to do something. The slumlords in that town, it's crazy. I forgot to my charger here. My phone was getting down to low, so now it's charging. But yeah, I mean, driving through there, showing my kids the stuff, and I was like, man, they need to bring some industry back in that town or something to bring that town back up. I couldn't imagine living over there. It'd bring me down. What a ship to now. So I know where there are some trees, but I don't think the landlord would be too happy about it. Robertson's, love you, Margie. What did I do again? Joy Blessed Life. We visited Miami, Oklahoma. It got to edit our Route 66 stuff. It was so cool in Oklahoma, Route 66. Yeah, I lived in Miami for many years. Rusty, Missouri would be lucky to have you guys. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I don't know how you guys have the energy you have on your lives. I can't do it. I struggle just to like come in to like start my video with, "Hey guys, welcome back to Hood's Custom Shop." Oh, it drains me. I've like on my lives, I just have to be me because I can't do it. Crazy Eds, I'll give you the finances to come out there, and I'll feed you, and then we'll go from there. Cool.
Um, said I have a slumlord. He's a horrible person. Adam, you own your own property. Um, what is she up to now? So thank you at Like Boy Homestead. Um, she said, I know what it's like to have a landlord like that. Yeah. Um, the landlord my mom has now, it's not a terrible landlord, but man, they don't fix up nothing. My mom has to fix up everything. And I tell you what, the last house she lived in, rent from them, she completely remodeled that whole place for them. I was like, when we were trying to find her another place, I said, "Hey, call up the old landlord we had before." That started off with I was renting a place and my mom lived with me, and I moved out and left it to her, and she kept renting from them for many many years, and she like remodeled two different houses I think for them, and I was like, I bet you they'd let you move into another place because they really like her because she fixes everything up. I was like, Mom, you need to start taking some of that stuff off the rent, a little bit at a time here and there. Give them the receipts. Mm, what is she up to now? I don't own this place, and I really know slumlords. I'll tell you what, I definitely know some slumlords. I know of a couple up around the Joplin area. We rented from him for a little while. I used to work with the guy. Horrible, horrible, I'm telling you. And then another place I rented from, uh, he was actually watering the cows off of the well that was hooked to my utility pole. And 1 month, my electric bill jumped up over like $1,200. And normally it was like 250. And I was usually out on the road and it was just my wife and three little kids. And I was like, whoa, why'd that go so high? And when I came home, the stock tank was out there just overflowing. The guy hadn't been out there in over a month, and the float on the stock tank was stuck or something, and so that well was running 24/7, and like the whole field was practically flooded. It looked like a creek, just a little shallow creek through the whole field, and I was paying for all that electric. And he told me that it wasn't hooked up to it. He said that was hooked up to his meter. He actually lived next door to me, and which was another problem. And he stole my beagle, one of my favorite dogs ever. He stole it. Mm-hmm. The chat jumped on me, guys. Like a boy home said, I don't know why he keeps getting more animals, and the buildings are all half done. No electricity. It's horrible. I get it. I know. He keeps getting more animals, making you take care of them. You have no power out there. I heard that you got some AC now, but you have to run a generator to run it. Man, it's crazy. At least you ain't got that monthly electric bill. I wish I could get rid of mine, but you know what? To go off grid in this house would be horrible. I have to run the AC in there. It gets 100 and something degrees in there pretty quick. And then once it gets hot in there, it takes forever to cool it down. Our our big heat and air unit, the outside part is burnt up, so we can't use that. And we last couple winters we've had to use that emergency heat strips on it. Yeah, $1,000 a month electric bill. Tired of it. Your mom's landlord must be related to the one I have. They don't fix anything either. Yep. I mean, I kind of feel for some of the landlords right now because there's a lot of people that haven't been paying any rent and they couldn't get kicked out. Uh, Yeah. So the government, with their BS, has taken away landlords' income completely. I mean, lucky for them, they haven't really probably had to make payments on those properties if they're still under a mortgage. I mean, and I'm behind on mine big time, way, way behind. We're 12,000 something behind, and the mortgage company basically wants me to send a whole bunch of paperwork in to try to get that tacked onto the end. I don't know if they're going to let me do that or not. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this place remodeled in time to get it sold for what I'd like to sell it for. I don't know if I can just put it on the market and sell it like it is with the floors being all messed up. I've already started ripping carpet up out of the upstairs. Uh, I'm working on getting the hardwood flooring made, but I don't know. I'm thinking about going out and driving the truck again for a little while, and that way I can. I I don't know if I can get caught up on the bills. I mean, $12,000 is a lot, but um, I could probably start trying to get caught up on that and not lose the place, and start putting some money into it so I can fix it up, and then I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to sit here for another 16, 18 years or whatever, paying almost $1,000 a month. We try to go somewhere for our lives, weather permitting. It's more fun for us walking around or being in different locations, so we aren't bored on our own lives. I like this sitting out here. I don't like necessarily going into town or to a park or anything like that. I I like staying here. I don't I don't know. I don't like to run around too much. I've spent too many years running around, going everywhere. Like a boy homestead, no electricity, no problem. I got solar. It can move wherever I live to. That's what I want to do. I want to figure out what all I got to do. I'm probably going to just get a job for a while and get the solar stuff I need, get this place sold. Hopefully, have enough money from that to buy another place. I want to go off grid and get rid of that electric bill, but I don't want to be, without electricity. I want to have enough solar and battery backup and everything to be able to run at least a refrigerator and a deep freeze, to preserve food in. I don't want to change that part of my life. Um, and then if I got to weld something or, run tools or something, I'll probably just run a generator when I'm doing that stuff. And that, when you have to run a generator, you can, you can budget that. You can say, well, I can't afford gas for it, so we're not doing that this month or whatever. What is she up to now? Said I paid my rent the whole time. They just don't fix anything. Yeah, they don't fix anything where my mom lives, and yeah, in the wintertime, the wind blows in around like all the nooks and crannies and everything in there, and it raises her heating bill and everything. It it kind of sucks, but she's got her own place now. Adam said, "Why didn't I think of that? Just stop paying every month." Yeah, but on the deal you're on, they could kick you out. You don't have a per se mortgage. Um, I think that's like a owner finance thing. I believe what you're doing, so they can still evict people there. Uh, and the other thing is you still have to pay it eventually. Like this place, the mortgage I have on it, if I get foreclosed on, I still have to pay it. So, and I've had that happen to me before. My first house I bought was 79.9 is what I paid for the house, and there was some, I lost my brother, and some stuff, other stuff happened in my life, like my boss going through a divorce and everything. So I couldn't pay the bills, right? And I couldn't find another job at the time, so I ended up losing my house. And they garnished my wages. They took my tax returns for something like 10 years. And so I paid for a house outright. It's paid for now. That was paid for before I got this place. So I paid for a house that I can't even live in. It was foreclosed. We were basically booted out. And I was told later on by lawyers and stuff there was other things that could have done, but I didn't have the money to pay a lawyer either. They have huge solar generators now, so you can run that stuff with them. Yeah. Like I always said, time to run. Got some work to get done. Hope y'all have a great day. Yeah, I hope you get that barn built sometime soon. You can use that wood, Adam, on the barn build since it's going to be open to the air. It shouldn't warp too bad on you. I mean, you see my chicken coop that I built, and that was green. That lumber only set for a couple months drying. You should be able to, well, if you stickered that stuff up, uh, which I don't know if you have or not, but if you had stickered that stuff up, you could probably already start putting it on your walls inside your cabin. Adam, I heard he wears a banana hammock to do chores too. Well, at least he didn't do that when I was there. Hope you're not talking about me. I don't wear no dang banana hammock. You guys and Adam starting that stuff. Robert says, "See you tonight, Adam." Oh yeah, that's right. Robertson's comes on tonight, guys. Make sure you go check out Robertson's Belly Acres Monday Night Live. What time do you go live, Robertson's? I can't remember what time you guys go live. I just wait for notification and I pop in there. Something like 7 or something, isn't it? Or maybe 8. Only on days that end in Y. What a ship to now. Either way, not bad pictures painted by dirty old lady. Not to call you old or nothing, but oh boy, we're gonna get all that started. Everyone's gonna want to see me in a banana hammock. I'm not doing that. Mm. Have an awesome day, Adam. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming in here. Have an awesome morning. Robertson's go live at 8 tonight, right after Jared. That's right. Yeah, Jared will be on, and Robertson's Belly Acres. And I usually, like, my mornings are generally pretty slow, and then I get started on stuff, about noon. And then, I'll get into it, or maybe I'll have my filming done and I'll start editing or something. And then, Jared or someone comes on live, and I'm like, and it just interrupts everything. It slows me down. But I've got a couple videos uploaded and in the queue uh, to release this week. So I just enjoyed the painting. Thank you very much. Oh, not old. Um, don't be a chicken, Dave. I'm chicken. I ain't doing that. I'm more modest than that. Ah, man, got a hole in my lip. It's actually this lid leaks. That's why I don't really like this cup too much. Man, damn it. Debbie Martin, do you sell your lumber that you process? I mean, yeah, I guess. I have some over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me unlock the tripod. Right there's some, I want to say those are 2x6s or 2x8s right there. And everyone comes in here and they dig through that stack and so now it's still drying. I don't put that stuff in the kiln, and I actually had milled that up to build an awning or a building over top of my sawmill. Those were going to be the basically like the trusses. And then, I ended up selling some of that stuff off. So now I don't have enough to build that. And I was telling like Jared, I was like, hey, you're only like an hour and a half away from me. I got a whole bunch of posts and stuff that, I was going to build a little timber frame cabin. It's like, I got stuff I can spare. You guys come up here if you want to use them to build like a, they're talking about building a carport. I'm like, you're paying way too much money for that stuff going out there to Lowe's or whatever. It's like, if you want some of this lumber, come get it. And if you need me to haul it, give me a little bit of money to pay my gas or whatever to get there and back. I'll haul it for them. But, I don't know. They haven't hit me up for it. But yeah, I do. I've been selling it for pretty cheap, like $1.50. Honestly, I should be charging like $1.75 or more for it because it's oak. It takes longer to get through it. It's harder on your blades. It's heavier. It's harder on your body. Equipment and everything. Takes more gas to mill it. Joy Bless Life said, I think we are before Jared, but we are on Eastern time. I think he's Central. Yeah, I think so. I never see you guys go live. I don't get any notification for you guys. What is she up to now? Have a blessed day, Robertson Belly Acres. Oh, Robertson said they got to go. Hey, see you guys later. Got to get to work. What is she up to now? Oh, sure, you go skinny dipping, but not a banana. Well, what was that, 20 some odd years ago that I did that? I was a little wilder and crazier back then, and alcohol was involved. I don't drink much anymore. The doctor says I should drink more because right now I basically drink maybe once a year, maybe twice a year now. Usually I'll have a drink or two, like Jack and Coke or something on New Year's. And then when I was at the 41.36, I had some Mike's Hard lemonade stuff because I cannot stand beer. Beer is freaking nasty. I don't know how you people drink that crap. And cold beer, if he's watching, he's probably like, you said what? Don't you dog beer? Beer's gross to me. I don't know how people have a taste for it. I didn't acquire a taste for beer. I do like Jack and Coke or Crown and Coke or Crown and Dr. Pepper. Crown and Dr. Pepper is a little sweet. I think I'm getting like borderline diabetic now. So yeah, if I get too much sugar in me, if I put too much sugar in my coffee, sometimes we'll get to a point where I just go in the house and pass out for a while. So yeah, I gotta start staying away from the sugar. Oh man, you guys missed that bird right there on top of that wood. You hear it. That thing, it flew right at me and almost hit me in the face, and then it landed on this log right here that's on the sawmill. I was like, I don't know if you see me flinch, but I was like, whoa. Crazy Ed said, well, hell, Dave, bring some of that wood over to the property. I'll buy it from you. Come get it. Give me some money so I can haul it. Jeez. I got $0 for the budget to haul anything or anything. I mean, and the crazy thing is I could say something like that, and 20 minutes from now I could get a message. and somebody could come and buy something from me and I'd have a little bit of money. But that just hasn't happened in a little while. Joy Bless Live said we go live every Monday at 7 p.m. Oh, that's why I don't get your notifications, because that's like when Jared's on. I always got to go support Jared. I like watching the guy's stuff. Eastern somewhere. Oh, wait, 7 Eastern. So that's 6 Central, right? Yeah. So you guys, if you're Eastern, you're an hour ahead of us. The chat jumped on me and I got a notification. Eastern, somewhere in the Smoky Mountains, we try to promote the area. They depend on tourism here. Yep. Are you guys like right there? What is that? The Gorge, I think is what they call it. I can't remember what interstate that is. It runs through there. I used to run up and down that gorge all the time. Well, there the chat goes again. I don't drink that stuff. Coffee, tea, hot chocolate is more my style. Yeah. I like my sober. Being sober, I don't know. Maybe I'm a control freak. I like feeling like I have control over my own body, what I'm doing or thinking. Sometimes I do need to loosen up a bit. The doctor says I need to drink alcohol more for my kidneys. Debbie Martin said, I am in need of the raw wood that has the curve of the log. So you mean live edge? We are going for the log cabin look with using scraps. Oh, you want the slab wood. Some people call it the barking slabs, like, or debarking slabs, where you're taking the bark off the log. So you'll have live edge on both sides of it, and it's just like the barking slabs. I've got a stack of it that you just probably seen when I turn the camera here. There's some good wood in there. I haven't really considered selling it. There's been quite a few people stop by here and they're like, oh, I can buy that for $50 a stack. I'm like, but I'm not selling it for that. I have use for a lot of it for siding, like what you're talking about. I probably need to go through it and actually process it and take one live edge off of it and get it stacked up nice so it's, dries nice and straight. It's been drying for a good while. I don't want to mess with it right now while it's warm out, because I know there's going to be snakes in there and I don't want to mess with them. So I'm going to wait till winter comes and it gets nice and cold out. So if there is snakes in there, they're going to be a little bit slower and I don't get bit. Yeah, Jared is a different time zone. Yeah, I figured that out finally. Crazy David, I would give you the money to haul it. Okay. Or we can sneak it on your big flatbed. Just saying. Someone else could pay that fuel bill. You can get a 53 footer in here. Just saying. You have to probably follow me in here so you can get in here right and everything. But yeah, I've had a 53-foot trailer in here many a times. I used to bring my crude oil hauling trailer in here all the time, and my hopper bottom that I had. Debbie Martin said, yeah, the slab wood. Live close to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Okay, I've been to Gatlinburg. I think that's where NASTC is. What does NASTC stand for? National Association of Small Trucking Companies. That's where I went to school, whatever you want to call it, to learn how to run a trucking company. I got my certification through them. That was pretty interesting. She said this is a future project when it's cold outside. Okay. Where do you live, Debbie? I mean, like, don't tell me exactly where you live, just and like the area or something. Do you live near Joplin or Southwest Missouri? I live in the extreme Southwest Missouri. You guys, I'm not worried about people knowing where I live because I do run a business here, and you can look up Hood's Custom Shop on Google Maps. It's going to show you right where I'm at. So if you want to come by sometime and look at the wood I got or whatever, buy stuff from me, come on by. I'm not afraid of people coming by. I just get weirded out when people stop in the road out in front and they're taking pictures. It's like, hi, don't be weird like that. Just pull in here like any normal person. And, you know, and the other thing is, like, I don't care if you have a sidearm strapped on you either. I'm pro gun and I'm not scared of that or anything. As long as you keep it in the holster, we're good, right? So, most people already know that I'm armed most of the time, so I'm not too worried about that. I know there's been some crazy things happen in YouTube before, people getting shot or whatever because some stupid person out there, but you know, I'm not going to live my life scared. So if you ever want to come by, just you can get my number off there, whatever, send me a message or message me on Facebook. You can, I don't know if you're friends with me on my my family Facebook page, but if you're not, I think you can still message me on there, or you can find Hood's Custom Shop on Facebook. That's my business page, and you can message me on there. I think I should be able to get those, or you can find me uh, on Instagram and message me through that. But my phone number's out there also, guys. So don't be spamming me because, I mean, if you spam me, I'm just going to block you. Any new progress on the strangers? On the what? All right, Northwest Arkansas, close to Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Let's see, Siloam Springs. Yeah, Siloam Springs is like, I want to say an hour away, thereabouts. I used to haul feed down there to Tyson in Westville, like every day. I went to what's the name of that town? Decatur, Arkansas. I used to haul down there to Simmons in Decatur every day from Kansas City, and I also went to Westville a lot. Joy Bless Life said, I thought you lived in Texas. Are you talking about me? I don't live in Texas. I live in extreme Southwest Missouri, probably an hour and a half away from the Crockers. An hour and a half away from um, Pryor, Oklahoma. I actually have family that lives in Pryor, Oklahoma. Actually, and one of my nephews was murdered not too long ago over there. We don't know exactly what happened. So, and that was in Pryor. Desiree, Joy, I did not realize I was not sub, but you have a new sub. Awesome. What is she up to now? Well, I don't do Facebook or Instagram. I can do smoke signals. Well, you have a phone, right? I mean, if you go look me up on Google Maps, or if you type in Hood's Custom Shop on Google, you'll see all kinds of stuff on there. My phone number's out there and everything. It has been for a while. I haven't had any issues. But like any other business, you have to put everything out there. Simple Life Reclaim just put a notification out for something. First step for our log cabin build. Hope I didn't just mess everything up by doing that, but oh man. He lives in Show Me State. Yeah, live in the Show Me State. My dad was big on it. You gotta show me. Thank you. I will do that when closer to time. Thank you so much. So enjoyed your demo at the meetup. I will get back with you. I won't come up without you knowing we're coming. I do have Facebook. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you can send me a message or something and make sure I'm going to be here, because I mean, otherwise you're going to show up and the neighbors might be coming over saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah, I like for people to let me know they're showing up, but you don't really have to because there's a lot of times I'll be out here, people will just see me outside and they'll stop by, and like neighbors that live down this road, they'll just stop by, and that's cool. Yes, I have a phone. Didn't know you wanted me to call. Well, I mean, if you want to buy stuff from me or something, or if you want to come out, you can send me a text message or whatever. I prefer text messages because a lot of times I don't have really time to talk. I'll be in the middle of shooting a video or something, and it's really not that fun whenever I get a phone call and I'm using my phone to shoot video. And that's one reason why I started using my GoPro a lot more. And with the GoPro, it's kind of easier, um, except for when you're in the outside in the heat, it likes to shut off, and you'll lose stuff and not realize that it shut off on you. Betty Tahlequah, I think that's how you spell it, not Pryor. Tahlequah. No, they live in Pryor. At least that's what it said in the post I seen. I don't know. I know they're from the Pryor area where they've been living. I mean, maybe it was in Tahlequah where it happened. I don't know. I'm not too up to date on all that, or like exactly what happened or whatever. I don't think they're really putting out too much information on all that, which we probably shouldn't share that on here. Um, because I mean, if they end up having to go to court, we don't want too much stuff out there, right? So they're, for the ability for a fair trial. So, Joy Bless Life. I prefer text messages too because I use my phone to record all my videos. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I don't mind people calling me, but you probably should text me first because number one, if I don't know like the number, I'm probably still going to answer if I'm not recording or in the middle of something, but I might re- I might answer it in an odd way, like I do telemarketers. I'll be like, uh, "Buenos noches," and they're like, "Hello, sí, señor, que no habla inglés." And then they'll start speaking Spanish to me. Now, I don't know any other languages, or I don't really know Spanish either, but I know a little tiny bit. She said that's where it happened. Okay. Um, what is she up to now? So yes, don't talk about it on here for the reason you said. Yeah, crazy. Like I don't know what happened. I suspect what happened, but I can't say. Uh, that's family I didn't really
associate much with, except for every now and then I would see them at the family reunion or something if I went. I haven't been to like the last two or whatever. I don't even know if we had a family reunion last year, other than the YouTube family reunion. um, yeah, crazy stuff goes on in the world sometimes, and very unfortunate. It is 9:24. It feels like the day is barely just getting started. So, what are you guys planning on doing this week? You guys got any plans for the week or something you want to talk about? Other than, I know some of you are going live tonight, like Joy Bless Life, and then the Crocker or Jared Crocker. He's probably going to be going live this afternoon with the Crockers, because as you guys know, Jason popped in here. So make sure you check out Jared Crocker at 7 p.m. Central Time, Joy Bless Life at 6 p.m. Central Time, or 7 o'clock Eastern. Um, and then Robertson's Bellyacres at 8 p.m. I'll probably be in all three of those. I don't know. The 6 o'clock, I might be busy at that time. I've got to get stuff done. And that's usually when I'm working on some things. But 7 o'clock, I usually try to be done with things around 7. That's when the sun kind of starts to go down, and I start, watering the garden and getting the chickens put up and stuff. I mean, if the sun ain't going down, I really don't know what time it is. I don't watch the time all day. Mm, Joy bless it. LOL. What is she up to now? So how long will it take with a red flyer wagon to get there? It's a day drive for you up to here. Oh, you got the red flyer wagon. Let's see. You live all the way up there, like by Minnesota, right? Up in, did you say Iowa? So I mean, in a red flyer wagon, uh, if you hitchhike, maybe a couple days. Um, if you're just with the red flyer wagon, maybe a week or two. I've been to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Cades Cove lately, and getting videos because they will be closing the whole month of September to repave the roads. Wow, man. Yes, and I have to tow the dump cart for racing. Yes, Iowa. Uh, um, you might want to get like at least a riding mower to pull all that with. I don't know if I would set out on that journey. It might be wintertime before you make it back, and I know how winters are in Iowa. Uh, it gets cold up there just a little bit earlier than it does here. I know when winter comes around, it's still like spring a lot of times right here where I live. And I go, say, 150, 160 miles north up to Kansas City. And it's like that. It's almost like a thermocline when you're diving, when it just like you cross that line and it's suddenly like super cold or a lot colder. Kansas City seems to be that thermocline or that line that you cross, and it's just all of a sudden it's just freaking cold. Wow, I'm actually caught up on the chat. I guess we've lost a few people. We're at 7 subscribers right now. Now you are spending money big time on me, riding mower, and gas cans of bean business. The right kind of gas. Yeah. Cades Cove is an 11-mile loop road with original cabins and black bears, no cell service. Oh, cool. But no cell service? Oh, man. Yeah, It's kind of like that right around here. Like if I just go that way down my road where I like to go like test drive and everything down in the backcountry roads, I go about maybe a mile down my road and I have no service. And it just loops around, goes back over here to Anderson. And it's a pretty popular road for motorcycles and stuff. They really like coming down through here. Back when they had Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue down in Arkansas, um, there would be a lot of motorcycles running up and down my road here. But since the COVID thing going on or whatever, there's not a whole lot of motorcycles coming up and down my road anymore. Oh man. So it's 9:29. If you guys got any more questions or anything, I think I'm gonna jump off here at 9:30 or so. But I want to give you guys a chance. If you got anything else you want to talk about, throw it in there. We'll talk about it. 9:30. Here goes the hay cutter. He's staring at me over here. That's the neighbor's son. Cade's Cove is free entry. They have a donation box. Sadly, very few cars stop to donate, though. Y'all have to look up the Cade's Cove and see exactly where that is. Yeah, we've got some places like that. There's like some caves and stuff around here, but they're kind of off the beaten path. There's one or two. There's two down in the like Knoll, Missouri area that I know of that are kind of cool. Pafford Homestead. Good morning. I'm getting ready to hop out of here, guys. You're just jumping in. What are you guys up to, Pafford? Haven't been in your guys' live or anything in a little bit. We saw two trees with mama bears and cubs right next to the road. Yesterday, got them on camera. Sweet. That's awesome. I actually, I had a bear living down here in my valley. Not really a cub, just a small bear, small black bear. Just like down in the bottom back part of my property here, it's like a wet weather creek. And if you go on down to the neighbors through that creek bed, there's like a little cave down in there that there was a little black bear living in. And then it decided to go somewhere else. And there was pictures of it going through Neosho. I've seen pictures of it on Facebook and everything where it went to Neosho. And so we haven't seen it around here anymore. I think it moved somewhere else. But it hung out around here for a little while. And I wouldn't let my kids go down the hill and play anymore without me out there with a firearm. We were down there one day and you could smell a really musty smell. And I thought it was, wild hogs or something. And I was down there, had just my pistol on my side, and we were bringing some of those limestone rocks up out of the bottom, like you may have seen before in pictures or whatever that's around my flagpole. We were bringing those rocks up the hill, which is really steep and really, it's an all-day chore to bring some rocks up. But, yeah, we ended up seeing that bear down there. I didn't get a really good look at it. But I mean, when I seen it and seen the way it was running, it was obvious it was a bear. I was like, oh man. And we have, I found out what's been killing my chickens, for at least the most part. We have a brown bobcat, that is about 3 foot long. I'd say probably about 2.5 foot tall. And it's just a solid brown and it has white hair sticking out of its ears. So, yeah. I seen it actually coming from my neighbor's backyard one day, and I got about 20 feet from it before it realized that I was there. I was tracking it down, going to take care of it, but I wasn't successful. So I still got to worry about that. It was actually hunting my chickens, and I was hunting it. But I wish I'd had a gun on me. I'm thinking about putting a live trap out and see if I can catch that thing.
Uh, Joy Bless Life. If you make it to our live, David, we can bring you on to try to help you get business. We are in a tourist area. We have a lot more viewers who don't get in comments but watch on TV. You never know. Yeah. I mean, I'm really hoping to push the coffee cups and hopefully make some money from that. I mean, I would love nothing more than to do this. I do it full time right now. I would love nothing more for it to, provide. I don't, I don't expect to get like super chats or anything like that to, bring up my channel and everything. I want you guys to get something in return. If you're gonna, send me money for anything, I want you to, physically receive something. I have my bonfire and stuff where you can get shirts and mugs and stuff. Uh, but I would really kind of rather me make something with my own hands and that be a product I can sell. And that way I can make a little money that way. And, if I could sell 1 cup a day, that would keep me busy for sure. And I'm pretty sure that would pay my bills, at least some of them. And if I can also, do some milling and sell stuff that way, then that would help out. But, you know, most of my customers for like the selling the wood and stuff is going to be local just because like oak and stuff that I mill here is extremely heavy and you don't want to have to haul that very far. To trap a wildcat, you need live bait. Probably. To throw a cat in there. No, I wouldn't do that. Um, I don't know. I've seen people trap before, and I have a buddy who does trapping. I might get with him. Um, I kind of worry about putting traps out other than live trap because I might catch my own cat. Not that I really care for cats, but I don't want to trap them. I don't want to be mean to them. But yeah, I mean that that bobcat was. I've never seen one that was just solid brown like that. Usually, I know there was a we had a normal kind of colored bobcat with a kind of black and white and tan that had been mating with one of our cats, and we ended up having like half bobcat kittens that we ended up giving away. Um, and that wasn't a very big bobcat that was around here, and I haven't seen that one in a while. But now we have this big brown one. Kind of, I like. There is a fur buyer in my area, which I think he's still around. I mean, the guy that I knew of before he passed away, but I think his son still has that buys furs. Your cups could sell around here too. We need to get one and try to help promote in a local store. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people would really buy them out of like a gift shop. I mean, like what I have to charge for me to make money for them, we're looking at the price will never get below $65. And that's if I was to make 20 of them a day. I would still probably have to sell them maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look at that, but I doubt it would get less than 65 because that's what you can buy wooden kuksas and stuff online for. It's just what it costs for them. And I'm not gonna compete with other people or whatever. I want to stay about the same price. But my trouble was, I was like, I don't even know if I can make these for a reasonable price. $100 is reasonable whenever you're, customizing it. You're putting someone's logo on it or something. There's a lot more time that goes into that. And honestly, it should be way more than that. But like, who's gonna pay, $400 for you to work on a cup for a week for them? So that's another thing I have to take into account. But I mean,
if I had a CNC that could make those cups where, it was like you could make 20 in a day, like super easy, and you could be working on something else while the machine is doing it, then I could definitely, you know, make them a lot cheaper. But I mean, when you take into account the cost of the wood, the time of milling and drying, and all the stuff you got to do, and then the part of making the cup and everything is really hard to make it cheap enough to where you can imagine putting that in a gift shop where they could even, they have to make some money too. So I don't know if that's really possible. I don't, maybe not. But anyways, guys, it's 9:39, so I guess I need to get off here, get some things done before it gets too awful warm. I've really enjoyed talking to y'all, and we'll see you next Monday. I don't know if I'll have any other. I was thinking about this last week of doing just a pop up live here or there in the afternoon to kind of just poke around and see, you know, how many viewers I might get, and see if I can get a afternoon time spot somewhere throughout the week. So I don't know. If you guys know of a good time slot or something where I could pop in or something that would work for y'all, let me know. But anyways, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.